Get ready to see an easy and affordable DIY IKEA hack where I turn this kitchen cabinet into an eye-catching, beautiful entryway console table. And as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So today I have an IKEA hack for you guys. As some of you may know, I recently moved into a new home and I have just been trying to find some stylish but really affordable ways to decorate my home, but also to add more storage. We needed a ton more storage. There just wasn't enough for my 6-person family, including 3 kids with lots of toys, coats, mittens, shoes. It seems like it's always all over the place. So I wanted to make a console table for my entryway, but I wanted to do it on a budget, and that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So I really hope you enjoy it. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Everyone, hit that notification bell so you'll be ready when my next video comes out. And when it's over, head down to the comments and let me know, how did you like the DIY? What would you change about it? How would you do it in your home? And there were a few hiccups along the way, so if you have any tips for me, who's kind of, you know, a beginning DIYer, I love beautiful things, but my budget is like making me figure out how to do it myself. So if you have any tips for me for future DIYs that will make my life easier, please share them down below. Okay guys, it's time to craft. I'm going to start out this DIY with this Knox Holt kitchen cabinet. Now this is one of the cabinets that would go like kind of up above your range in your kitchen. So it's small, it's thin, and it's the perfect size for a console table. Now, the finish on this was a little slicker than I anticipated. So right out of the door, I encountered my first and most frustrating error. Now, I had the sanding stone in my home, so I just kind of grabbed it and I was like, oh, I'll just, sand it down real quick, and that will help the paint to adhere to the cabinet. Now, you do need to sand it, but you guys, this material is much slicker than what I anticipated, and I really do recommend that you get an orbital sander and really like blast this kitchen cabinet to get a lot of that slickness off, to rough it up and help the paint to adhere. Now, after you do that, you're going to need to wipe everything down and make sure you get kind of all the powder and dust off of it that you just sanded off of your cabinet. Now, here's where we get to error number 2. I recently redid my kids' room and I just had this paint left over in my garage. I was intending to do their room pink because that's what they asked for. And in the middle of it, I was like, you guys, this is a lot of pink, too much pink. So I bought this teal paint thinking, oh, I'll just paint some on the wall, and I didn't end up using it. So this paint is a semi-gloss because, kids color on walls and I needed to be able to wipe it down when I wanted to. Their room came out beautifully, but I did not end up using this teal paint. So fast forward to today, I was like, oh, I'll just grab this paint out of the garage and use it. But you guys, that was the wrong move. For projects like this, in the past, I have used chalk paint, and I really recommend you stick to that. If you rough this surface up with a sander and you use chalk paint, you won't have the problem of your paint kind of coming up on you, which is exactly what happened to me, and it was the single most frustrating thing that happened to me all week long, to be honest. So learn from my mistakes, really sand down your surface and use chalk paint, and you will not run into this issue. Once I had my first coat on, I let it dry completely, which is another step that you do not want to rush. You want each coat of paint to dry 100%, which will also help with the adherence to your surface. Then I gave it a second coat and I got this nice, gorgeous, beautiful, deep teal color that I absolutely adore. Once my second coat was dry, I was ready to bring it inside and put everything together. Now, I just used the instructions to do the first few steps of the assembly, which was putting the hardware onto the side panels of the cabinet. After that was finished, I was ready to attach the top and bottom panels of the cabinet, but I had to make a few adjustments. I'll show you all about those in just a minute after I take a moment to tell you about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Over the past few months, I have fallen completely in love with Skillshare. They have a variety of classes, and if you have any kind of creativity in your soul, this is the platform for you, and you will be able to find something that will really connect to your creativity. They have classes on photography, calligraphy, growing plants, and this course, which I am just really enjoying, which I've been taking lately, on making paper flowers. And the best thing is the amazing price that gives you access to all of this creativity and expertise. At only $10 a month for an annual subscription, you have access to just more knowledge than you'll ever know what to do with, but I'm telling you guys, I'm going to try to soak it all in. You guys, I have just been loving Skillshare since I have known about it and had a membership. And not only do I feel more knowledgeable about like crafty things and creative things, I just feel healthier as a human. I'll wake up and instead of kind of mindlessly scrolling social media and like losing half an hour in the morning, I'll just open up a class on Skillshare. I'll learn something new. My brain will be active, and I have all these new techniques that I'm dying to try. So the first 1,000 people to head down to the description box and click that link will get a free trial of their premium membership, which is basically a win-win. You get to try it out at no cost to yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about and why I'm so excited. And I am just absolutely smitten with Skillshare, and I really want this partnership to be a success. So, you know, it'll just be good for both of us. So make sure you guys take a few moments and check out Skillshare. Now back to the DIY. Now, when you're actually putting this together as a kitchen cabinet, the smooth side of the cabinet is actually on the inside, because if you think about it, you don't want any bumps or anything when you're putting your plates into the cabinet. Since I'm using this as a console table, I want the smooth side to be on the outside and the side with the hardware to be on the inside where you can't see it. Now, Ikea provides this nice lip inside of the top and bottom console so that your back panel sits in nice and evenly. But since I'm flipping it around, I needed to try to get that lip off. So I tried just kind of cutting it off with an X-Acto knife. That did not work. I tried some heavy-duty scissors that I had, and that did not work. If you have a saw or something that you can use to do this, or even if you feel like you want to take the time to sand it down, you should do that. As you know, my sanding issue earlier, I was just like not in the mood to sand anything. So I just attached the back with the lip on there. Now, in order to do that, I really needed to line it up, and you want to make sure that all of your corners are at a 90-degree angle. Otherwise, your doors are not going to go in straight. So make sure that you have everything lined up at 90 degrees. And then I just attached the back. Even though the lip was on there, I had to make sure to get the nails just in the right place, but it did work out. If you're a perfectionist, you might want to go ahead and paint that inside portion of the raw edge of the back of your panel, because it's not as covered up as it would be if you had set that back panel right into the lip. Now, I'm placing this in my entryway against a wall so no one will see the back, but if I was going to give this away to someone, or if it was going to be more in the middle of the room, I would definitely take the time to finish out that back portion so that you didn't see that raw material. Next, I'm ready to work on the doors. Now, I got this beautiful stencil, and I will leave the link to it down in the description box below, but I really wanted to add just a little bit of kind of shininess and glam to this beautiful teal color. So I just got some acrylic paint from Walmart, and I'm going to stencil on this pattern to the front of my cabinet. Now, you want to make sure that when you're doing a stencil, you are putting a very little bit of paint on your paint roller, and then you're just going to roll in all directions over and over until you get the desired effect that you want through your stencil. You don't want to load your roller up with paint and then push it through, or else you're going to get a lot of bleeding. Now, one tip that I can give you from someone who is not an expert stenciler is that I love to use organic kind of shapes like this, because if you don't do it perfectly, it's okay. You're not going to tell. The entire pattern is made up of shapes that are irregular, and it kind of adds a little bit to it if it's not perfect. That being said, I really do try to avoid bleed, but if I do get a little, it still looks really great. Once I was finished with my initial coat of paint through the stencil, I went ahead and used a blow dryer to speed up the drying process. And then I used the instructions that came inside of the stencil to let me know where to line it up so that I have one continuous and flawless pattern. This made it really easy, and I love how this came out. Now that my entire stencil is dry, I'm just going to go back with my original teal color, and I'm just going to clean up any mistakes I've made. But like I mentioned before, this was a nice organic looking stencil with a lot of different shapes, and you really could not tell most of my mistakes. So I really just used this to clean up the one spot where my stencil kind of shifted a little bit and I had a little bit of blurriness. Now I'm ready for my hardware. I picked up these little handles from Lowe's, and they have a variety to choose from. You can choose from handles that are $1 a piece all the way up to $5 or $6 a piece. I thought this gold would look really great. So using a ruler, I just measured out about 1 inch square right into the top corner of my cabinet, and then I used a drill to drill into the cabinet door in order to allow me to attach my handles. Once the handles were on, I just attached the doors to my cabinet per the instructions in the manual. Now, once again, I'm using something I had in my garage from a previous DIY that I did not end up using. I got these beautiful hairpin gold legs on Amazon. I will look for a link to find this or something similar and leave it in the description box below. Now, I bought them for another DIY Ikea hack, which I will link down in the description box for you as well. I absolutely love how it came out, but I ended up using shorter legs. Another option would be to use these $4 legs that they have at Ikea. It's a different look, but very affordable and still really beautiful. In order to attach my legs, I just placed them on the bottom of my console table, marked off where I needed the screws to go, and then I drilled some pilot holes in using my drill, making sure not to go all the way through to the other side. Now, the screws these came with were the absolute perfect length if I just tightened it just enough and did not over tighten the screws. So be careful when you're doing this that you put them in so that your legs are secure, but you don't tighten them all the way. Otherwise, you will get them going through to the inside of your console. And that was it. I absolutely love how this console table came out. It's beautiful. The gold has just that perfect little bit of glam. It's got that boho modern farmhouse vibe that I love in my home, and it's definitely an eye catcher when you walk into my space. Now, in order to style it, I'm just using this vase that I also got at Ikea. I loved the color and thought it would go perfectly in my entryway. And I'm putting some faux flowers in there because I am a new plant mom and I'm keeping all my plants alive. But for right now, faux flowers will do because I'm not sure if I can keep another plant alive. I'm also using these candles that I got from Target Dollar Spot, and I really think they finish out the look beautifully. You guys, I cannot tell you how in love I am with this console table. Right when you walk into my entryway, it's just it's this piece that's just gorgeous and really draws your eye to it. And I think it just puts a lot of personality into the space. Now I still have a lot of work to do on my entryway, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys a more cohesive, completed entryway in the near future. But for now, I'm just really happy that this little pop of color came from a little $28 Ikea cabinet. Let me know how you like it down in the comments, maybe how you would change it, what you would do. I would love to hear it. So for today's treat, instead of something sweet, I'm going for savory. After all of this work, I was ready to just kind of chill out with my family. The weather is getting nice. I was outside all day, you know, painting, doing DIYs, and my husband was like, hey, I'm gonna throw some meat on the grill. And I decided to make this little bean salad that I love to kind of eat on spring and summery days because it's quick, easy, and delicious. So that's what I have to show you guys today. So it's time to eat.
Okay guys, here's a quick, easy treat for you. I'm going to use whatever beans I happen to have in my cabinet. Right now that's kidney beans, navy beans, and black beans. You could also use black-eyed peas, garbanzo beans. They all taste delicious in this. I'm also going to add some diced red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and red onion. I'm going to toss in some corn, and then I'm going to mix everything together. Now, this is a great recipe to use up any vegetables you have in your refrigerator. Sometimes I'll also dice up some carrots if I need to, get rid of those. Some green onion and cilantro also taste really good in this salad. I'm leaving those out because my kids have issues with cilantro. I don't even know whose children they are because I love cilantro. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make a dressing. I'm going to start out with some olive oil. I'm going to use about half a cup. I will leave the recipe for this down in the description box, but I make a few changes just to fit the taste of my family. Next, I'm going to use some white balsamic vinegar. You can use any vinegar you'd like. I've made this with regular balsamic vinegar, and I've also made it with apple cider vinegar or red wine vinegar, and they all taste delicious. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of lime juice or more if you're like me and you love that lime flavor. And I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And try not to make a mess like I am here. I'm also going to put some garlic in. There is an amount on the recipe, but honestly, I don't know what it is because in my mind, the more garlic, the better. I'm also going to add cumin. And even though I'm not doing it here, adding coriander is also really yummy, and a dash of cinnamon. Now I'm going to add salt and pepper and a little bit of sugar. Once all of that is together, I'm going to shake it up and make a delicious dressing that tastes really good on this bean salad, but honestly tastes good on any salad you want to put it on. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add that onto my bean mixture. And if you do like green bell peppers and cilantro, this is a great time to throw that in. And that is it, you guys. Now, sometimes I'll make a big batch of this and take an avocado to work and kind of slice it up in there and eat it all together with chips. Or I will put it on top of a taco as kind of a fresh take on taco night. However you eat it, it's gonna be delicious. So I really hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed the DIY IKEA hack I had for you today. Don't forget to head down to the comments and leave me a comment. Give this video a thumbs up and check the description box for a free trial premium membership to Skillshare. You won't regret it. And I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.